Even in the very best digestive system, only 1 to 35% of the nutrition in your food reaches a cellular level. Stand by to learn how you can turn that into 90%. Hi, and welcome to Food for Thought. My name is Barbara Kerr, and I'm glad that you've joined me today. Today we're going to do something a little bit different in the kitchen that's very near and dear to my heart, and I want to try and teach you how to juice. I know a lot of people may have said, well, I drink carrot juice or I drink this or that, and people really aren't sure how they do that. And instead of just going out to the store and buying a can of V8, which isn't what we're talking about today, I'm going to show you how we actually take food and turn it into juice. Statistics have shown, like I said, that even in a very well-working, the best digestive system, that once you take your food into your stomach, only 1 to 35% of that reaches the cellular level to actually build new building blocks for your body. That's a very small percentage. But what you do when you juice a food is that it actually doesn't require digestion because you have removed the fiber from it. So you can actually, it's almost like it's pre-digested when you drink it, and it goes right to the cellular level, and you use 90%. So for the last 15 years, I've had Crohn's disease, which is an inflammatory bowel disease that can attack you anywhere throughout your intestinal tract. 5 years ago, I was on my deathbed for the second time, and I heard of a little man that was running a juicing clinic down in Florida, and I was interested in finding out what his answers were because the medical route wasn't working for me. So I decided to go on a detox cleanse, which is a little bit of what I'm going to tell you about today. I do want you to understand, though, in everything that I tell you about today, that I'm not prescribing any medicine for you as far as food goes. I want you, whatever you hear, if there's something that you're interested in, please talk to your doctor about nutritional ways that you can present things and do things different. But I'm just going to share with you what I have done and what has worked for me a little bit, and just show you how to actually make food juices. What I'm going to talk to you about today is we're going to go over citrus juice. We're going to make some citrus juice out of grapefruit, oranges, and lemons. And then we're going to make a fruit juice out of apples, strawberries, and grapes. And you can use anything really that you like, but those are going to be some that just makes a beautiful juice. I really love it. I'm going to have a hard time not drinking it before the show is over. And then we're going to make one that's a little bit less appealing to people, but it still tastes wonderful. And it does take a little of a taste. It takes time to acquire a taste for it, but we're going to make a carrot, kale. Well, kale is my favorite, but we did have trouble finding that in the supermarket, so we're going to use spinach, which is almost as high in nutrition. We're going to put some parsley in there too. We're going to keep it simple. It's going to be a green juice, but it's going to taste really great. So what I want to do is start off with some citrus juice today, and I have gotten a citrus juicer, and these are very inexpensive, and you can get one at any department store. They run about $15, and we're going to start off with some grapefruit. And this may be very simple to some people, but somebody who's never made juice before, this can be something that can be very educational. So I'm hoping this isn't as simple as like chopping lettuce or something like that. You can also get man-made or ones that you don't have to have an electric one. And that looks just like this. So you don't have to have one that's electric. Grapefruit is very good because it is not an acid juice, even though a lot of people think the citric juice is all acidic. It's not. Your orange juice is oranges and tangerines are the only fruits that have an acid in it that you really shouldn't drink if you're ill. If you're really ill and you're going to juice, stay away from oranges and tangerines. Grapefruit, according to the doctor that I was talking with, is okay, and lemon is probably the very best. Lemon is really great. It's the only anionic food on the earth that we know of, which actually creates energy when you put it into your body instead of using it. It's a really good liver detoxifier. It just has wonderful, wonderful things. When I drink my lemon water, which you can drink just by itself, I dilute it to 1 part lemon, 9 parts distilled water. Use only pure water when you're making juices. When I was sick, I was told that I needed to drink a lot of juices to cleanse out my liver, and I needed to drink a lot of pure water. Water cannot be replaced by these juices. You need to still drink a lot of very good water. As you can see, this isn't very difficult. It's a tiny bit time consuming, but let's squeeze. My husband's really good at this. Every single morning he gets up and makes a huge glass for himself of orange and grapefruit, and usually he doesn't put any lemon in it. But I like that little added tartness of the lemon. I think it's great. What we're going to do is just pour this into a glass, and we're going to make our fruit juice. Fruit juices taste really good, but you need to kind of beware. I'm going to have my assistant, Claudia Welty, who is also a veteran at juicing. She and I met, actually somebody asked us, where did we meet? We are very best friends. We met at that doctor's clinic in Florida, juicing. I'd never seen her before in my life. And we juiced together. We juice fasted for 4 weeks, and it was quite an experience, wasn't it?
I've never done anything quite like it before.
You got hungry for food. I'm not going to tell you that we didn't get hungry, but the juices were very satisfying. I think what was the hardest was that you could smell the people cooking their lunches at lunchtime, or if you walked outside and you could smell the fast food restaurants. I think that made it hard, but it was a very, very good experience. And this is a wonderful juice. Oh, sweet. Go ahead. That one's for you. That's a great. Now the next juicer that we're going to use, and I'll just give that to you. You can take these and I'll get
Juicer.
The juicer. This is a Champion juicer. I'm going to need a couple bowls, I guess.
Okay.
This juicer is heavier. It's a heavy-duty food juicer, and it's not extraordinarily inexpensive. I believe that we paid about $150 for this juicer. There are juicers that you can get at a department store that juice foods for around, I think I've seen them in the $50 range, and some are under that. So if you're really interested in starting with a food juicer, you don't need to go right out and buy something that's $250. It's important, if you want to try it, just to get what you can. The very first one we bought was probably $50. And this is a really nice machine because they have a little part that you can put on the bottom called the blank. And instead of making juice, I can make healthy desserts for my family by freezing fruit when it's very ripe, like I'll freeze bananas. And you can put a frozen banana through this, and it comes out banana ice cream, and you don't have to mix anything into it. It's completely emulsified. My favorite is when mangoes are in season, and I can freeze mango and pineapple chunks that are just wonderful. Oh, I just love it. It's my favorite. So I'm going to juice. We'll put this under here to catch the juice. And for, I guess, we don't want to make a big mess. All of our fruit, that'll be fine. I just need our apples and our oranges. We're going to juice. The apples are a nice juice that it's very high in. There's a lot of fruit sugar in it. So if you have trouble with sugar or you're diabetic, you'd want to go easy on these fruit juices. We're going to use 3 apples today, some grapes. I probably have about 2 cups here. And we're going to use several strawberries, about a cup. And really on the fruit juice, you can use any juices that you want, any fruit that you want to, any combination. Just don't mix fruits and vegetables in the same juice. This has been proven to be very gas producing, and you don't want to cause yourself any more digestive stress than what you may already have going on. So what we're going to do is just start out, and we're going to turn our juicer on. Kids love to push this through, by the way, so you can get this and let them help you in the kitchen. And I'll tell you, there's nothing like drinking fresh juice right through the juicer versus a little bit of store-bought juice, there's just no comparison. Because once you've cooked a juice, you've actually turned it into an acid food, which means that if you're already sick, your body is more than likely in an acid state. It needs to be balanced with a pH balance between alkaline and acid. So you don't want to drink a juice if you go out, even the stuff that you get at the grocery store in the freezer section, that says 100% natural. No, it's good as far as the ingredients, but the only problem with it, if you're ill and you're wanting to do juicing, it won't work in that it's already been blanched and that it's turned to an acid. So you really need to juice fresh through your juicer. I'm going to go ahead and put a couple of the strawberries in. I'll put some. Oh, sound like it liked those. I mean, I really wanted to just take a nice big bite out of those. These are really big strawberries. And then the pulp that comes through with the fruit usually it will be fairly wet the first time. And you can put that through again. And that way you don't feel like you're wasting. Here, go ahead and cut that one. If you don't feel like you're wasting the pulp. A lot of people have difficulty with feeling like, that's coming through really wet, feeling like they're wasting the fruit by throwing their pulp away. But if you want to get the nutrition out and take the fiber out, this is the only way to remove it. And Vitamixes are really good machines, but they're not going to remove the pulp from your juice. And if you want to do that and get it to go right to the cellular level, you're going to need to actually use a juice extractor. I'm going to put some of my grapes in. And also, if you want to, you can take your pulp. Like sometimes I'll use my apple pulp for a cake. If I'm going to do a cake that I want some apple in, and I won't rerun it through so it's a little bit more moist. Boy, that strawberry looks like strawberry jam. It's great. Grapes are very, very high in sugar, and so are the apples. So you do really want to be careful. I'll set this here. And you can go ahead and help me out with this. You see if we can catch some of that. It gets to be really fun. I mean, you can have a lot of fun juicing in the kitchen, can't you?
You can make a lot of messes.
I'll tell you, that first day I was at the clinic where I was juicing, I'd left my family, I'd left everybody I knew, flew to a state where I didn't know a soul. I was scared to death. I was doing something new. And Claudia and her husband Richard were there. And as you maybe have been able to tell already, Claudia has quite a sense of humor. And so I was back in my room kind of feeling sorry for myself and hungry, and I just felt so bad because I'd been on antibiotics. I'd been having continual infections for about 6 months. I was like one antibiotic and then that wouldn't go away, and they'd give me a double antibiotic and that wouldn't help. And so that went on for about 4 to 6 months. I decided to try this juicing thing, and I got there and I was very discouraged the first day, and I could hear this laughter come from down the hall, you know, and there's nothing quite like drinking carrot juice together that will really bond a person. We're not going to use all these apples, don't you think? Nothing quite like that experience. So, but it saved my life, and I've learned a lot through juicing that if I'd have known more prior to all of my health problems, I don't think I ever would have gotten as sick as I did. So we're going to take this. Oh, this is wonderful. We'll see you guys later. This is great. You know, this is really good. You could take, you know what you could do with this? You could take one of those cake testers, you know, the metal ones, and stick some fruit squares on there and just stick it in your drink to make like a really pretty fruit
treat.
Of course, I'm kind of making
Trying to
a
get
mess.
some in the glass part.
Hey, I didn't say I wasn't a klutz in the kitchen. I just said I could make this stuff. Let's see if I can wipe that up a little bit. That is great. So that's our fruit juice. If you're allergic to strawberries, or if you have an allergy to mold, don't put strawberries in your juice because they tend to be one of the more moldy fruits due to the little seeds. And so for a long time, I couldn't eat strawberries. I couldn't put them in anything that I did. But you've never had a problem with strawberries.
I just eat them. I just love them.
This is wonderful.
Ready?
When you see those recipes that call for carrot and apple juice mixed together, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't mix it together. You will be so sorry that you did. Might taste better, but it's not healthy for you. Now we're going to mix up one of my favorites, although I think the fruit juice is easier to drink because it just naturally tastes sweet and you taste all the fruit sugar. The other one is really what heals you right up. When you're sick and you're not feeling good, a glass of this juice can just really knock your socks off.
Powerful juice. Heal you up.
We're going to want to pull this so it doesn't sit and dry on there, okay? Oh, actually, if this looks like it's heavy, it's because it is. It weighs about 25 pounds. It has quite a motor in it. You can really do a lot with these. They clean very easily too. All you have to do is pull this little attachment off. And this is the blade where it chops the food. And there's a little screen in here. So all you have to rinse is this section right here. You just rinse it all out. So it is easy cleanup. You can also get, and I'm not trying to sell you these, please, but you can get like a grain attachment for your Champion. So they're really a nice machine to have at your house to do all kinds of things. And there are people that believe that this is the best piece of machinery in your kitchen. This should be something that you absolutely cannot do without. So we're going to go ahead and, if we have enough bowls, do we have enough bowls?
We do now.
Oh, good. We're going to use the props. I think this one might be better. No, you're right. Let's do that. We'll make a small glass of carrot and kale juice, or as much as we can. Now this juice isn't quite as pretty, but I think it tastes good, and it's very good for you. And when you we have quite a bit here. Whenever you go to juice something green like spinach or parsley, and you want to put a little bit of parsley into your juice too. Parsley is just one of those wonder foods that just, wow, it's great for your body. When you go to put this in, I've seen people who have tried to juice just parsley. You need to put a little parsley in, and then a little carrot, and then a little parsley and a little carrot. And I always start off with something green. I'm going to see if you can go ahead and rinse out that one fruit juice bowl for us, because I want them to be able to see this as it goes through. Thanks, Claudia. We're going to have in our vegetable juice today 8 to 10 carrots, we were going to do 4 kale leaves, but I'm going to do spinach, and a small bunch of parsley. Now I've gone ahead and I've put my first thing of parsley through, and I just want you to be able to see that bunch of parsley only gives a very little amount of juice. So if you're sitting there trying to say, that looks disgusting, stand by, it'll get better. So we're going to put in, I wanted the other one for here so they can see. Okay. We're going to put the carrot in. We're going to put in a few pieces of spinach. The very first time we got a juicer and we went to do this, stop that. My mother was juicing for me, and I told her, well, we need to juice about a big container. We needed a quart of spinach juice, and the poor thing, she juiced. Here, I'm going to turn this off and switch this so you can see into this bowl. She juiced the whole got this huge container of spinach and parsley and it's just, if you try to juice spinach, just spinach, you can juice and juice and juice to your little heart's content before you ever get an ounce out of it. So if you really want to get your, I think that I just needed to put a carrot in. You have to kind of work with it. Put your juice in. Don't ever stick your fingers way down there. Be patient with it. I'm going to throw in a little celery, even though I don't have that on the recipe today. Celery is really great for if you're having heat stroke problems and you want to help, your body fluids regulate. Celery is really great for that. It's a good juice extender too. It's very juicy. Your champion's really great for doing a lot of different things. We're going to put in a little bit of parsley. The greener you make your juice and the more chlorophyll you have in it, the faster your body is going to go into a detox cleanse, because finally you're giving it some nutrition and it says, oh, thank you, hallelujah, I've got something here that's healthy. And what's going to happen is that you're going to start into a detox cleanse. And if you don't know what's happening, you're going to think that the juice is what's actually causing the problem. You're going to think that it's not good for you. You're going to get a headache most likely on the second day. And it's going to last for probably 2 days. Probably the average detox headache was about 2 days. And if you take more aspirin, it just needs to be cleaned out too. So, I just sort of drink a lot of water, grit your teeth and bear it. But know that it does go, and when it's done, when you're done with the detox headache, and you might have some intestinal problems that arise, it's just your body cleaning house. But you need to be aware of the fact that this is a natural process that's happening, and that your body is actually very happy that you're giving it something to juice.
Excuse me, ma'am, these are rattling.
Oh, okay. Thank you, assistant. Thanks, Claudia. We'll just go ahead and put a few more carrots in there. Actually, I'm going to put one more in. We have we've made nice green juice. The stronger the chlorophyll in it, the faster and harder the detox is going to be. So if you want to slow it down, use more carrots. But if you use just carrot juice, it is prettier, but I think it's harder to drink when it's just carrot juice, because it's very sweet. Carrot juice is very sweet. So when I do vegetable juice, I always, and I don't know if we can do this over here at the sink, I always strain my juice. We have a strainer here. You need a very fine strainer. I know this one looks a little bit beat up. Can you hold the glass? I just don't want to pour it down the drain.
Oh, down my arm.
I'm sure you had to say that. We'll see if we
Let's try to get it in the glass.
Okay. Let's see if we can use a knife here. I'm sorry about that, Claudia. We have a very narrow glass here to work with. But there will be a little fine bit of pulp, and if you want to get this last little bit out of your juice so that you can, so that you're not drinking any of the fiber. So you want to get all of that. I'm sorry. Not even going to try and pour the rest of that. You can pour your own glass. So this is very, very good. I mean, it looks green, and I know people say, "Oh, that's." They really turn their nose up at it, but it tastes good. It's very sweet. I love it. I'll share. This is very good, very healthy. So, out of all the things that we learned while we were juicing, which is your favorite? What combination of food juices do you like?
Well, I think the vegetable juice is probably the best.
Yeah.
I know the fruit is very cleansing, especially the grapes. But this is like, my husband says, this is like drinking chocolate milk. It's not really.
I know the first time he said that, we all laughed at him and said, "You're nuts." There's no way. But it is. It gives you a very satisfying feeling when you drink the juices. And there's other things that you can do too. If you're juicing a lot of lemons, You can take the skin of the lemon after you've juiced it, and we put them in Ziploc baggies. A little Korean woman named Jeannie Jo came, and she taught us about how to, she said in Korea, the women take what they call lemon baths, and they collect their lemon skins and they put it in a big Ziploc baggie. Whenever you're done, just throw your rinds in there, and they keep it in the freezer. Then when you get about 15 of them, she said you take it out and you put them in like a big Dutch oven in water, just, maybe 3/4 of a pan of water, fill it up and boil it, and then simmer it for about 20 minutes, and then let it cool on the stove, and then go and pour it into a bath, and then you just climb into the bath with it, and as much as you can, you just get your body under the bath and cover yourself. She said even take the rinds and rub them on your skin, and stick them on your elbows.
It burns.
Well, what they do is they call it an enema for the skin. It causes all the pores to open up and dump the toxins out that are in your skin. I think it's why they have such a beautiful skin, and they don't tell us that here in America. And so it was really great. The first time I tried it, I got in, and it's just about 10 minutes was all I could take, because you feel this kind of tingling like you're getting a sunburn. And so you get up, you clean, take them out carefully. You don't want to clog up your drain or anything. Put them back in a container, let your water out, and then rinse off in a nice warm shower and finish in cold water. Finishing in cold water is the key, because that'll get it to quit burning. So that's our little tip from Korea on how to really cleanse your skin on the outside and on the inside. And we will be back in a moment with a final thought.
If you've enjoyed the recipes and cooking tips in this program, you'll want to order our Food for Thought resource sheet. We'll tell you how you can order the cookbooks you've seen used on this program, along with other information that will help you cook healthful, attractive vegetarian meals. For your free copy of our Food for Thought resource sheet, please write to us at Food for Thought, P.O. Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois 62896, or call 618-627-4651.
I know a lot of what I've told you today may be really hard to take, but it's something that I really hope that you will listen to and put like one finger in your ear so it will stop somewhere in there, and maybe just lodge a little bit for if you can try it at some time in the future. One thing that you might want to do if you really want to take the step and start making healthier juices to drink, try it and maybe do it half and half with some water and see if that's a little bit easier. Or take a sip. Promise yourself that you'll try at least 2 drinks of each thing before you say no to something. Remember, don't mix the fruits and vegetables when you juice. And also, if you feel guilty about throwing your pulp away, one thing that I like to do is take my pulp and put it in the garden. You can use it as the compost. Or if, like I said, if you put it through and you're not going to use a lot and it's moist, you can put some apples into an apple cake or something like that. So I really hope that you will be able to use the information you've learned today, and I wish you the best of health. Thank you.